Today's program is sponsored by The Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
Fashion, music, wellness.
And don't forget sex.
Mostly sex.
If it's trending, they'll be talking about it. Trend Radio is right here.
And right now, I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we always have something great to say.
Because it's us. So stay tuned.
You'll be glad you did. Good morning, Elise.
Good morning, Anthony. Good morning to you.
Today, this week in history, is Ian Fleming's birthday.
Yes, it is. But even more important than 007 on the 28th is your birthday on the 30th. And that is much more important to me than any old 007. So happy birthday to you, my favorite co-host.
Thank you so much. Yes, I am. I'm celebrating my 40th birthday, and you know, some of the artists that we've interviewed over the last couple of years, you know, from the 60s, they're revising some of their hits with new lyrics.
Yeah.
Just to accommodate us.
Yeah.
The aging baby boomers who can remember doing the limbo as if it were yesterday.
Yeah. There's so many of them, though.
Yeah. Bobby Darin. He redid his song. Splish Splash, I Was Having a Flash. And Herman's Hermits. Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Walker. Ringo Starr, I Get By With a Little Help From My Depends.
Oh my gosh.
And I knew your favorite, the Bee Gees.
Uh-huh.
How Can You Mend a Broken Hip?
Oh my gosh.
And Johnny Nash's favorite, I Can't See Clearly Now.
You are so cute.
The Commodores had a great one.
You are so fun. All right, you're going to continue?
These are all the songs that these people have changed their lyrics just
my God.
for us on my 40th birthday.
You know what I think is funny, though?
What's that?
I think Paul Simon had a funny one.
Yes, he did.
50 Ways to Lose Your Liver. I think that's hysterical.
Well, Tony Orlando, knock 3 times on the ceiling if you hear me fall. And ABBA.
I love ABBA.
Yes, Denture Queen.
Okay, I think you've done enough.
Well, this one I think some people can really relate to is the Commodores. Once, twice, 3 times to the bathroom. But last but not least, Willie Nelson, one of my favorite artists. Willie Nelson, on the commode again.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Just can't wait to get on that commode again.
Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. Oh, you are just so funny.
So, yes, it really is my birthday. And if you guys would like to send me a $25 check for my birthday, we will send you a $50 gift certificate.
Oh, that is so... Oh, you are just too much.
For anything that you need in the salon.
Oh, you are so funny.
Birthday greetings from Anthony Vincent.
You know, I have to just say there's another really cool day this week in history. May 24th each year is International Tiara Day. And the reason they made it Tiara Day, it was actually to celebrate Queen Victoria and her birthday. But there are so many women and girls and ladies that just want to be wearing a tiara. It makes you feel special. So they created International Tiara Day so that you can wear it without looking ridiculous. So May 24th, International Tiara Day. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a bunch of great birthdays this week. It was also John Wayne's birthday. He was born in 1907.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Ian Fleming, born in 1908.
1908. My grandfather was born in 1908. And then you were right after that.
Well, getting back to what's important.
Okay.
For Mike, the dating rules that everyone should follow, including Mike. Mm-hmm. So, sex with an ex. If the sex was fantastic, but you have no emotional ties to her anymore, go for it. Having good sex is like working out. You'll never regret it.
Okay, then that's a good thing to hear. As
long as you have no emotional ties, and as long as she has no emotional ties.
Yeah, that's the complications part, or complicated
That
part.
would be.
Yeah.
Then you're adding.
You're a guy. What do you care?
Then you're adding issues, and you don't need to add issues for anybody involved.
But if we both, I mean, she's the one who broke it off, the one I last had. So hopefully she doesn't have any emotional, and I'm over it. So if that could happen, then I'm cool with it.
That's right.
And since she broke it off, I think she should be cool with it. I mean, obviously,
No,
things can get crazy, but
things happen.
Yeah,
things happen. Emotions get in the way.
Yeah.
As long as there's no emotion, then I say go for it.
Well, also, don't have sex with anyone your friends have had emotional feelings for. This one should go without saying. And one last thing, you cannot fundamentally change your significant other. All you can do is think about whether you could put up with their crap and if they could put up with yours.
That's true. And you know what? You can't change your co-host either.
Fortunate. I would not change my co-host for the world.
Aw, that
all
was
the
sweet.
tea in China, all the gold in Solomon's mine.
How sweet are you? He's feeling sweet today. I know it's strange.
That might change really quick.
I'm sure it will.
180 to turns are
Hey,
what
you know
Anthony
what?
does.
He's manic. So,
Take it when
and
you can get it. Yeah.
dual personality here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sitting next to a Gemini, and you know what? Each one of his personalities has a personality, so I'm sitting next to 4 guys.
Pretty much. If
You've
not more.
never had it so good. What a sexy show we've got today.
Don't we always have a sexy show?
Yes, of course
really?
we do. Yeah. We're going to be talking about the reason why people are having less sex now than they did back in the 90s. There was a British study that pinpoints what's turning people off and how we can start to remedy that. And we're going to talk about that later on in the show.
Very cool.
But first, we're going to be talking about relationships and low self-esteem that is possibly to blame for our abysmal dating standards these days.
Oh, low self-esteem will just ruin everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And, has what we consider to be a date changed because of our esteem issues? So what constitutes a date in 2016?
I don't know. I don't date. So I don't really know, but I do hear a lot about dating. And these days, people go for coffee, they go for dinner, they go for movies, they go for the same type of things, but it's a little bit different.
Only now there's a casual hookup involved.
Sometimes, yeah.
When I was dating, it was dinner, a movie, drinks, and you hoped for the casual hookup.
And there was usually, it depended. It depended on the connection, I think. Mm-hmm. It really depended on the connection. These days, though, it's really just, let's meet for coffee. We'll talk a little bit, and then they're back somewhere.
Yeah, and it's a series of text messages.
It's sometimes not even dinner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And according to Greg Berhart and Amira Rotulo, authors of this book, It's Just a Effing Date. A one-time honored way to get to know another person was a starting point for either a friendship, a romantic connection, or the worst date ever. And, this has really lost its specialness.
Isn't that a shame?
It is. Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I think it's a natural result of an epidemic of low self-esteem.
It could be. Or then there's also, time factors. People feel like they don't have time to do things. People work more. They also they just feel like they don't have time to start with I'm going to go out on a date and I'm going to the movie or I'm going to the dinner or I'm going to this or that. They feel like they don't have time. They just want to be in the relationship.
Or they go out to dinner or the movie and they're on their damn phone the whole time texting.
Well, you know what we say about that. Put your phone away.
Put the damn phone away, please.
Ladies, that phone fits in your little pocketbook. Gentlemen, that phone can be left in the car or it fits well in your pocket. Yeah, it's the truth. That's awful.
That's right. You put it on vibrate. You'll feel it vibrate. Excuse yourself to the, the ladies' room or the
men's
or
room,
the
yeah.
men's room if you must see who the heck texted
Yeah,
you.
if that's more important than what you're doing, then yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to follow your Facebook page on while you're on a date.
Definitely not.
But the reason I think the dating bar has been set so low is because people's self-esteem is low, and they will allow themselves to accept something that's less than a date because they don't think they're worth it. And that's the problem.
Ah.
We see that all the time.
Yes, we do. But you know, what is it that we always say? Confidence is the sexiest thing you'll wear. And the thing is that if you don't have it, fake it until you get it.
That's right.
That's what I always say.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody knows how to be on stage. Everybody knows how to act. Everybody knows how to lie. Okay? People do it all the time. So pretend you're confident until you are.
That's right. And, both men and women, really should consider whether or not this low self-esteem resonates with them.
Ah, yeah, I guess that's something you really have to think about. That's if you want to delve into it that deeply and see what's actually wrong. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to take the time to find out what the reason is. Why do they have low self-esteem? And maybe then they could fix it.
I believe the low self-esteem comes from when you're a child.
You know what? People have issues and people have things that happen in their lives. They could be, amazing. An amazing child. Think about this for a minute. Those, the cheerleaders in high school. They have tons of confidence in high school, and the jocks. And then 20 years later, we see them, and they're the ones that have the beer bellies and the mustaches. Remember, and those are the ladies.
They're the lady one. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And the thing is that what happens after high school? That this happens to them. They grow out of themselves while the nerdy ones grow into themselves. How does that happen?
You're absolutely right.
I know.
I saw that with my
That
last
happens all the time. I
high
watch
school
it.
reunion. The jocks, all fat and bald.
Exactly. And
the cool,
divorced
yep.
and have issues and problems, and they're the ones that have low self-esteem now. What is it that happens? So to say that it's from childhood, you don't know that that's necessarily true, because something happened after childhood, that created that situation. So we don't know what that is.
Well, sometimes that overconfidence that we see in the cheerleader or the jock is actually overcompensating for the low self-esteem.
That could be. That could absolutely be. And then not knowing what's actually going on, and then they crash. And then the mustache and the beer belly.
Yeah, love isn't a dinner and a movie, but the sharing of both can really be the starting point for enduring affection.
Absolutely. You know what's nice about going to a movie, though?
What's that?
You don't, especially when you don't really know the person, you have something to talk about afterwards.
Yeah.
And if you both liked it, that could really spark into something and a nice connection, because you have something in common. And then you can, eat something while you're discussing the movie. And that's a nice date. I think that's a nice date. And then after that, you realize that you have a few things in common. And then you can go for the stroll and the coffee and the walk, on the beach or the lake or something like that.
Yeah, sounds like fun to me.
I think so.
Yeah. So Elise, I can tell just by watching that you don't wear a bra very often.
Oh my God.
I could tell the way one is sitting up on the table, the other one's on your lap. But
okay.
Do you know
I always wear a bra. Let's wait. No, stop that right now. I always wear a bra. There's nothing wrong with me. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Well, you don't have to be ashamed. Most women, one
Mike,
is bigger than the other.
Stop him. Stop him now.
If I could, I would have a long time ago.
Oh my God.
And I know that your one big one lays on your lap. The little one kind of just flops on the table over here.
I'm going to kill him. Oh my gosh.
But I think we're going to have to get you that bra that can stop you from that emotional eating.
Oh my God.
Because it looks like a deli counter on this board over here. I mean, look,
First
we've
of
got
all,
vegetables, nuts, we have cheese spread, we got
yes, and the reason is
coffee,
because
water.
we are both conscious. I can't. And the reason I have all of this food here is because we're very conscious of how we eat. And so we're trying to eat well. And so I bring these lovely things in so that you have something nice to eat that doesn't have gluten, that low in carb, that of course for me has no soy. So we're trying to just eat well.
So what was that big old cheesesteak the size of my arm last week, and the pizza from New York before that?
Okay, well, the cheesesteak, I was bringing in cheesesteaks for you and Mike from, City Steaks in Burlington because they were so delicious and you guys were constantly complaining that you couldn't get a good cheesesteak in New Jersey. So that was what happened there, but I didn't tell you to eat the bread. You just couldn't help yourself because you're a glutton, okay?
I'm a glutton for gluten.
Okay, so now, as far as the bra thing, I always wear a bra. And if everybody who is listening on a very serious note, the reason
she wears
is,
a bra.
yes.
They just don't fit.
Oh my God, yes they do. My bras are perfect and fitted for me. And on a serious note, everybody knows exactly the reason why. They all know that I had surgery and they all know that I had breast cancer. On a serious note, so I'm popping your inflation there, okay? And there you have it. So go on.
Well, I was going to say, the surgery, that's why one boob is bigger than the other. But I'm not that mean. I'm not that mean.
That is not true.
And it's not funny. So just drop the senseless humor that you have.
Oh my
And let's
gosh.
get serious.
Serious,
yes,
okay.
Microsoft has created a bra prototype that can sense your emotions and help you avoid trigger eating situations.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Yes. Well, so whether you had a bad day at work, a fight with mom, a
So
tiff
you're
with a
going to wear
pal,
a computerized
a fight with your
bra?
co-host.
A computerized bra?
Yes.
For the co-host?
Yes. I mean, you, not me. I'm not going to wear a bra.
Why?
Listen, I am not into that kind of thing.
Yes,
I know there are some
but you
women that
need it.
makes their men dress like ladies. I am not one of those men. So
I can't even
Elise,
say that he needs it because he doesn't. Not with his arms and chest.
those are cannonballs on my
Yes,
chest.
I know what they are. And they're not drooping. So that's a serious thing. But don't tell people that I am if I'm not.
Okay.
There.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
It won't happen again.
I'm sure it will. You're lying.
Will you forgive me?
Of course.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, on days when it feels like life is handing out lemons, who makes lemonade? It's more likely that you go to the convenience store for a bag of chips, a chocolate bar, and a can of soda.
No, I would actually make the lemonade. And I wouldn't eat the chips and the chocolate and the soda. So tell me about, and I especially wouldn't have the soda. You know what the soda does. Takes the paint off a car. It's going to hurt your belly.
That's right.
And make you fat. But anyway, aside from that, so I'm curious, this bra, tell me, what does it have in it? What kind of sensor does it have in it that, would that be uncomfortable? I don't understand.
Well, this bra is for emotional eaters, because most people, when they get a little upset about something, they eat junk food. And what do we always say about eating junk food? No,
it's bad for you.
It is
When you
bad.
start to feel badly about something, the first thing you should honestly do when you start to feel badly is go right for the water.
That's right.
Drink the water. Water is not going to hurt you. But some people are stress eaters.
They are. And we've been told, if we're stress eaters, take a deep breath, wait 15 minutes, let the cravings pass, go
Drink
for
water.
a walk, drink water. And these are some of the tips that we used to use to help starve off this need.
You know what? I guess depending on what the situation is and how the person handles it, they might not be able to do those things.
Well, I numb myself with carbs and sugar.
Yes, you do. Yes, that's the reason why I have tricolor carrots here, mini tomatoes, a lovely feta cheese spread, and peanuts.
Delicious.
It is.
And a lovely aromatic coffee.
Yes. See
Just
that? Mm-hmm. So, you
So
know,
if we're stress eating because of
but we're not. This is what we're eating.
improperly behaving co-hosts,
Yes.
we
you know
stress
what?
eat
I might
on
need to have a
fruits and
slice of
vegetables.
pizza. I might need to have a slice of pizza from him, but I'm not going to damage myself because he doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut.
Well, she's usually damaging me by poking me, kicking me, prodding me, sticks me with the pen.
Oh, and don't forget I bite
Now
too.
she doesn't use the pencil because she doesn't want to give me lead poisoning.
That's
so
true.
she just uses the pen.
I just bite, and whatever germs I have in my mouth, that's it. Nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, it leaves marks. Well, in the future, stress eaters like us may not have to rely on these little tricks.
Oh, we can just wear the bra.
Yeah, you just
so
put
you
on your
can,
bra.
You put on the bra
Just
too.
put on your bra. Well, if you wear the bra, I'll wear the bra.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But Mike has to wear the bra too.
We're gonna have 3 bras, 3 matching bras.
Well, if it's comfy, why not?
Wait a minute. A bra for a guy is not called a bra. It's called a bro, isn't it?
Well, maybe.
Or do you remember the man's ear?
Actually, the two of you call each other bro.
Yeah, we do call each other that, bro.
But this right here, bra.
Well, researchers at Microsoft created a mood sensing bra that
Wow.
it's really able to identify triggers that cause behaviors like binge eating.
Okay.
So this garment is equipped with sensors that monitor physiological responses such as heart rate, breathing, and sweating.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then wow.
And
so
then the info is sent to your smartphone via an app.
Oh my gosh.
Which helps identify
There's an app for everything.
Yes, there is.
I just don't understand though. Is it comfortable?
Of course it is. It's a regular, beautiful little bra with little sensors in it. And
Well, are the sensors hard or
no, they're tiny little things.
okay?
And
How do you wash this? I guess hand wash it,
hand
or
wash it, a gentle cycle.
and so
You
nothing
got to
will
take the
happen.
battery out, I think.
The sensors. That's what I'm concerned about. Like you have to take the sensors out before you wash it.
they'd be waterproof.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
Now, you're not going to find this bra at Victoria's Secret. It's currently just an experiment. So you may be wondering if the product is really necessary or is it helpful?
The thing is that I'm not wondering whether it's necessary or helpful because there are so many things that are not necessary and not helpful, so it doesn't really matter. It's all about money, and that's my thing with so many things. But this might be something a little bit different. This might just be something fantastic for women because we do know quite a few of them that do emotionally eat.
Oh, yeah.
And
Women
so-
are highly emotional.
Yes. And there's a reason for that. Sometimes they have a crazy co-host and they can't help themselves. But that not even being said, I think that that's not a bad experiment. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good thing.
Oh, I think so too. With all the anxieties related to work, as you said, with crazy co-hosts, finances, relationships, hormonal shifts, and dealing.
Hormonal shifts.
Yeah.
There you said it.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Are you saying something about me again?
No, I was talking about my menopause.
Okay, good. I hope you were.
I am going to be 40. Damn. It scares me to say that. But my
Yeah.
problem is dealing with ornery relatives
Oh.
making fun of me.
Oh. Okay. As long as that's your only problem.
That's right. So
Cool.
we'll get this super smart bra. And emotions really do play, havoc, with people and their thoughts.
sure.
And, right down to stress eating, right down to a broken heart.
Oh, yeah. A broken heart.
Yeah.
Awful.
The death of a partner.
The death of anyone close to you creates a broken heart, but
That's-
especially, your partner.
Yeah.
I don't know about your co-host, but
continually puts you down. And
I love you, though.
yeah,
I do.
Yeah, you say that. It's not what you say, it's what you do.
Nobody shows love better than me.
Mm-hmm.
I am the yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You are just asking for. You're cruising for a bruising.
Yeah, see, you think you're Italian, and Italians hit because they love.
Because they love.
Well, I'm not going to be sleeping.
And I don't think anything.
Well, a broken heart is usually a figure of speech, but there's a new study that found the death of a partner or spouse may be associated with people developing irregular heartbeats and putting them at risk for heart attack.
Oh.
Now,
Interesting.
yeah. The grieving participants in this study were at risk for serious health effects from heartbreak.
Oh.
Now, this actually happened to, it was two people I know. One, a husband and wife that were next door to me. I think they were married for 65 years. And they were an older couple, but, they'd been married since they were like 16. And they had a little business that they ran together, and the wife suddenly passed away.
And he followed, didn't he?
2 weeks later, he was gone.
He died of a broken heart.
He died of a broken heart.
I definitely agree with that. When somebody is when they are that close and that together and that in sync with each other, that's something that you just can't get through.
That's right. This study, published in the Journal of Open Heart, looked at whether bereavement over death of a partner was associated with an irregular heartbeat. The authors from Aarhus University in Aarhus, Denmark, looked at 88,000 people who were diagnosed with an irregular heartbeat, and that's called atrial fibrillation. And it compared them to 886,000 healthy people in a control group. The loss of a partner was associated with the person having a 41% increased risk of developing atrial fibrillation for the first time compared to those who had not lost a spouse. The study found this risk occurred regardless of gender.
I can completely understand that, though. When somebody that you love gets sick, you're worried. And you're constantly thinking about that person, and that puts a toll on your body and your heart. Imagine then losing that person very suddenly, out of nowhere. What do? You're lost. You're right. Just lost.
The risk peaked at about 8 to 14 days after the death, and it subsided after about a year later, according to the study.
That's interesting. So it's true what they say is you're in shock.
Yes.
So in the beginning, you're reacting the way you normally would daily, and then it hits you, and then the loss happens, and then you react to it for however long it takes your body to get back to normal, if you make it through that time period.
If you make it. And, surprisingly, it was people under the age of 60 that were twice as likely to develop the atrial fibrillation than the older people.
That's interesting also. That's because they're more active. And so they're putting more pressure on their heart, I believe. And the heart is also taking more of a toll because of the reaction that they're having. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting.
And also, those who had a sudden loss of a healthy partner were 57% more likely to develop an irregular heartbeat.
I can see that. Yeah. Well, they're doing everything and dealing with so much stress. It's really, oh God, it's just an awful thing.
That's right. The study's authors stressed that, more research needs to be done, and that this does not yet show a partner's death actually causes the irregular heartbeat.
But I think it adds to it. I think that the stress from the circumstance adds to the stress on the heart.
Yes. Dr. Seidel Parica. He's an interventional cardiologist at University Hospitals Medical Center. And he said that this study offers insight on how health can be impacted, by relationships.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And they really call this condition broken heart syndrome.
When somebody suddenly basically breaks up with you that you love, or is not nice to you or not kind to you, this person that you love, and you don't understand why, but the person's still alive, the person just leaves you, it can wind you, it can knock you for a loop. You're so depressed, you're so upset, you can end up in bed. Imagine then this person that you love, that you're not going to ever see this person again. So it really can put a toll on your body and your heart.
Oh, really, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and I think why a lot of extra sensitive people don't get close to others, because I think deep down inside,
they're worried. They're worried. Yeah. They're putting up a wall. They're fearful of loss.
Yeah.
Wow. Awful.
It's terrible to lose someone suddenly like that.
Yes.
But what if you've outgrown a friend and you want to end the friendship gracefully?
Oh, that could be rough. Yeah. That could absolutely be rough.
Yeah. How do you break up with a friend without acting like a jerk?
I don't know. I've had to do that a couple of times too.
Yeah, I know.
And it's really hard. And I tried really hard to not be a jerk. I hope I wasn't, because I don't want to ever hurt anybody. But there was something that, I just couldn't do anything about it. I had to leave the relationship. There wasn't anything more that I could do. Mm-hmm. And it was actually hurting me.
Yeah.
And so I had to make a choice.
You can't live without good friends.
No.
But every once in a while, there's somebody that you think you just might be able to survive without. And I think this was your situation.
Well, it wasn't that I wanted to necessarily survive without the person. It's that the relationship was hurting me. Mm-hmm. And so it was hurting my friends, my family. It was not a good relationship. So it wasn't working. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess survive without is a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's right. And we always think, what's the best way when you have this situation, the best way to end that friendship, and you want as little distress and hurt feelings as possible.
Sure, of course.
So, I think.
So what do you recommend?
Well, I don't know. You got to gauge whether or not your friendship has run its course, and there are signs that it might be over.
Uh-huh.
Like
what?
Well, if you dread the very idea of calling them or seeing them.
Yeah, dread.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel uncomfortable, there's a reason for that.
That's right. And it's okay. You're not a bad person.
No.
You're just going through what Dr. Ian Yeager says, the author of When Friendship Hurts. He calls that a friend shift.
Ah, a friend shift.
A friend shift.
Interesting.
And what it is, it's a weeding out process. And this takes place throughout our lives.
All the time with anything.
That's right. And it's those friendships that help us fine-tune our friendship network. Since there's only so much time and emotion that anyone, has for a closer best friend,
It's interesting that you should say that, because, I observe a lot of that.
Yes.
And especially, with my other friends, my clients, just people that I watch, and I see how they are with certain friends and how certain friends are with them. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. You said, the time. It's interesting when you have a special person in your life or a special friend or anything like that. It's interesting to watch if you make time for that person, or if time just happens and then you spend time. But when you make time for somebody, depending on how much time you have, that's a very special friend. When you are available and you make yourself available to do that, then the person is a special friend.
And I think you're an expert at that because you have a huge network of casual friends. And since they don't make the same or as intense emotional or time demands on you,
well, I am very blessed. I do have a lot of friends, and I am very friendly, and so that's a nice thing.
yes, you are.
I don't always have a lot of time to make for all of them because I'm busy, as you know, especially with you and the co-host stuff and the salon stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, I require a lot.
Yeah, but besides that, but I do make time for my special friends, and my family, because that's what's really, really important to me.
That's right. That's right. And, you're practically perfect.
What are you getting at here?
Well,
I know he's going for something.
Well, in breaking up with the friend, maybe, and I'm using the vernacular, maybe the problem is you, the vernacular you.
You know what? It could have been me or the vernacular me. Absolutely.
Yeah, but how could you be the problem? As I said, you're perfect. Your friends, meanwhile, they're a landmine of imperfections. They're
it's
passive-aggressive comments about your job, your cooking, your new haircut.
It's
I hear that all
interesting.
the time.
It's interesting
Talking
that you
about your new haircut.
Yeah, people are always talking about my hair for some reason. It's like very interesting. But, it's interesting that you say that. But for me, I admit if the issue is me. And I know that sometimes it actually is me.
Most of the time.
And I'm okay with that.
Just went and stabbed me again with that damn pen.
I didn't stab him with the pen.
Or you pinched me or something.
Stop lying.
Okay.
Oh, look at how quickly he said that. No, I know sometimes the problem could be me.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it could be them.
That's right.
And so, or you.
It's always me. It's always me.
When it's a circumstance with you and me, it's definitely
It's
you.
always me.
Yeah, we know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those things. But anyway, aside from that, I think sometimes, though, we can outgrow a friendship. And we just have to try and move on. And to do it gracefully is a beautiful thing.
Yes. And when people, are always making these passive, aggressive comments about you, what you need to do is you really need to stand up and teach your friend how you like to be treated. And sometimes that simply means telling your friend that they've hurt you and that you'd prefer if he or she tone it down just a little bit.
That's interesting. And you have to just hope and pray that while you're doing that the person just doesn't walk away from you. That
some
happens.
People do that.
Some people just can't take it and they walk away. Fortunately, I don't have a co-host that does that.
And sometimes that's what you really need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But, the great one thing, about co-hosting, I mean friendships, is that it is optional. It's an optional and voluntary arrangement.
Yes.
Once you feel like you have to rather than you want to, it's probably not going to be a very long and strong lasting connection.
I agree. Because there's nothing worse than a have to.
Oh, that's right.
You should always want to.
Always. And, there are options. So if possible, what you do is, you let a so-so friendship that's really no longer working for you just fade out.
Fade.
That's
yeah.
right.
I've done that.
Yeah, I have too. And Dr. Yeager says, rather than make a big performance out of ending things, you just let it
go.
Let it go. If you're talking 3 times a week, bring it down to once a week and eventually.
Yeah, eventually it'll just fizzle.
Yeah. And, option number 2 is to, tell your co-host how you feel. If you've decided that you want to break up with your friend, you can choose to let him know, officially, but don't be a jerk about it. You have to.
You don't want to be my co-host anymore?
Oh, I live to be your co-host. I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
I know.
Without the research and the writing and the editing and the.
I know. You wouldn't be able to function. I know.
I wouldn't.
I know.
I wouldn't. We should probably do this show 7 days a week.
Okay, maybe 8.
Anyway, what was I saying? What you have to do is let them know how you feel. You know, if you've decided that you want to break up with your friend, you know, you can choose to let them know officially, but don't be a jerk about it. You have to let your friend or your former friend know that it's not her, but it's the way the two of you interact that's not working.
Yeah, I don't know that you necessarily really have to do that. I like the let it fade.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
option.
I know that's definitely what you would do.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that also because it doesn't hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, and you know that I am totally not...
Confrontational.
Yeah, I'm not an in-your-face kind of guy.
No, you're definitely not. Definitely not. And I have to be honest, I kind of like that about you.
Yeah, but if you want to go into details, you know, you can.
Don't feel
although
obligated.
You're not obligated. But, you know, do it in a way that's kind and informative rather than judgmental and overly critical.
What do we say? Always be kind.
Always be kind.
It's more important to be kind than it is to be right. So you don't need to be right about this. You just need to be kind so that you don't hurt anybody's feelings, because that's not the point. The point is that you want to do something for yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And letting the relationship go, that's for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Behave accordingly. Don't gossip about your former friend. You know, you've chosen to end the relationship, not destroy it or disrespect it.
Correct.
Now.
Exactly.
I have been known to do this. This is the boutique approach.
Oh, tell me.
Okay. You know, get creative, you know, to your friend's specific personality. Mm-hmm. You know, because there's really no one way or one right way to end a relationship.
I think it would depend on the person.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And become the kind of person your pal dislikes, and maybe she'll go cold turkey on you.
Yeah, I can imagine you doing that.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And when we do, we're going to tell you all about the reasons people are having less sex now than they did back in the 90s.
Ooh.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
This program may contain adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
So this British study really pinpoints what's turning people off, and almost what we can do to turn it around.
Turning people off from what?
Well, people aren't having as much sex these days than they were 10 years ago. In fact, your grandmother
really
may have had...
I think it depends on the person.
Well, this was a study done.
Okay.
And as I was saying, that maybe the vernacular grandmother may have been having a lot more sex than you are when she was your age.
My grandmother only had sex twice.
Ah, that's right.
She had 2 kids.
Well,
that's it.
Oh, Jewish woman, right?
Oh, stop.
Yeah. I married a Jewish girl once. Once. And on the honeymoon, she said, I don't really like that.
This isn't doing it for me?
She could have told me before.
This isn't doing it for me? Is that what she said?
Something like that, yes. Yes. So, Well, anyway, in a recent poll into the sex lives of more than 15,000 people in the UK,
Listen to how he gets so excited.
this poll suggests that sexual activity has dropped off of many of our to-do lists.
Now, why do you suppose that is?
Well, according to the British poll, people are having less sex today than they were 10 years ago on average, because people are having sex only 5 times a month. And that's down to at least one hot.
Is that because more people are working more?
Oh, probably, sure. There were polls that were conducted in the early 90s and the late 90s, and in those polls, people were having sex 6 times a month on national average.
But
It's because everyone is very, very busy, and they're doing things. And
I was just going to say, it's because lifestyle has changed a lot for a lot of people.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has.
I mean, that's just my thought right there.
You're right. People are worried about their jobs. They're worried about money, and they're not in the mood for sex. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago?
I find that to be crazy, though.
But it's true. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about France and the topless sunbathers?
Yes.
There are fewer and fewer topless sunbathers because they're worried about the economy, their income, and they
so they're
become
not
more modest.
Yeah, and they don't have that same level of confidence and carefree feelings.
That's right.
Because they are not carefree right now.
Yes. Now, this study was conducted by the NatSen Social. This study was conducted by the NatSen Social Research at the University of London, and what they did was they examined the sex life of more than 15,000 people between the ages of 16 and 44. Yes, even teenagers are having less sex.
Really? See, now I'm really confused. I mean, that I think is good news to have, less sex when you're a teenager. I don't believe that you need to be.
Yeah, parents like that.
Well, yeah, but a teenager doesn't necessarily need to be having sex. They should concentrate on other things.
But they do.
Yes, they do. But if they're having less sex, that's a good thing. But I'm curious, though, about, the age group that they chose, that they did this research on, 16 to 44. So I'm curious about the 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Well,
Interesting.
The late teens, the 20s, these people are not finding jobs. Even in their 30s, maybe they have a job, but it's not a good one.
Yeah.
And if they're in their 40s, they may have lost their job, and it's been 2 years before they've been able to find another job.
I guess. Okay.
So
they're concerned and they're worried.
Yeah. It's money worries and employment related anxieties. And they're the two buzzwords, killing the affection.
Wow.
And, smartphones and tablets are also affecting our libido.
What do we say?
We turn it off.
Put the phone away. Exactly.
That's right. People have their tablets, their smartphones, and they're taking them into the bedroom.
Oh my gosh, we say don't enter the bedroom with those phones, tablets, computers, anything. Just don't. Don't enter.
That's right. And, they're using Twitter and Facebook and answering emails and texts right in the middle.
And you can do that outside the bedroom. Don't bring it with you to the bedroom. We say this all the time.
Oh, we do. And do we want to have more or less sex? Is watching Netflix in bed preferable to cuddling up with your honey? Well, if that brings us greater life satisfaction, then well done. But if not, it's a good idea to power off those devices and focus on more intimate moments with your significant other.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Definitely. There's no reason to be ever holding your phone in bed.
And we probably have done that story 100 times.
Over and over and over, yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I found I'm guilty of some of that myself. I used to think that the TV helped me fall asleep. To have that.
Oh, but it really doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It's the noise, it's the light. And what happens is I wake up the same time every morning to turn off the doggone TV. And it is it's that blue light that just kind of affects me, and it wakes me up at the same time every night. So the last couple of days I recently just started not putting on the TV.
I turn everything off and I just listen to the quiet, and eventually you just fall asleep.
Well,
you get inside your head and you think your lovely thoughts, and you see the trees swaying out of the window, and it's dark, and
you have that lovely backdrop of trees and crickets and fish jumping out of the water and slapping into it. It's just
no.
It's the
you know
white
what, though?
noise.
It's a matter. Well, TV can be white noise also when you're very tired, but the most important thing is to not have any lights, especially like you said, the blue light. Have any lights or constant noise in the background, because you really need to have your sleep. It makes for a better life.
Oh, absolutely. I find that I'm sleeping through the night, and I'm waking up much more rejuvenated.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Mike, how much more time we have left here?
Well, we got about 6 minutes.
About 6 minutes. Well, then we have time to talk about this research that I've read about, and it says that 30% of men are not satisfied with their penis size.
Oh, is that what we're...
That's where we went.
Oh, you
choked
was just
a little
choked
bit there.
Yeah.
Well, the research says men can make their penis longer.
Wow. And how would they do that? I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Well, there's good news and there's bad news.
Okay.
The good news is that after reviewing existing literature on non-surgical male enhancement options, that's what it's called, male enhancement.
It's amazing to me how you know so much about this.
Well, researchers...
Are you part of this study?
No, I'm Italian. I was asked for advice. Now, if you can be serious for just a moment.
Okay.
Researchers have concluded that men can, and in fact, increase their penis size without going under the knife.
Oh.
Now, the bad news is,
Okay.
but didn't I once get in trouble for talking about a penis operation going under the knife?
Yes, but that was the flaying of the penis.
Yes, no fillet.
The bad news is the only method that works really might not be realistic for most guys.
Okay, and what is that method?
Okay, 2 urological researchers from the University of Turin in Italy set out to review the existing literature on low-risk penis enhancement procedures.
Isn't it interesting how this is happening in Italy? You're Italian. You just said that.
Yes.
So it's interesting how they're doing this research in Italy.
Well, everybody wants to be Italian.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes, they all want to be Italian.
They say that in my big fat Greek wedding. Everybody wants to be Greek.
Well, they're close.
Okay.
So these researchers found that a method called traction, in which men wear a penile extender to stretch their manhood, it produced an average growth of a little over a half an inch to about an inch. And
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I just have to say this one thing. That's very similar to being put in traction,
yes,
right? For back issues and stretching the spine.
that's right. Or if you're a little short to
They
get
put you
into
in
an
traction.
academy,
Yeah.
you can hang upside down and gravity stretches you out.
Yeah,
and
about
can
an
make
inch,
you
a half an inch, right?
A half an inch to an inch taller.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
There's actually an additional 4 inches of penis below your skin. And there are some operations that will bring out that extra 4 inches to give you a little extra length there.
Okay, but that's not a fillet operation,
No,
right?
no. This is called. What they do is it's called a male enhancement operation, and they cut the suspensory ligament.
That's interesting. That's amazing
So
that they
what
can do that.
happens when they cut the ligament, the penis drops out of
I
that
imagine
4
that
inches.
must be extremely painful. But what I don't understand is, wouldn't it be painful to wear this traction extender as well?
I don't know. I imagine it's a weight. You kind of put a weight. You wrap a weight around it, and the weight.
I would imagine that would be uncomfortable.
I wouldn't know.
No, I'm sure that you wouldn't, but that's not the point.
I also imagine that it'd be uncomfortable afterwards because you're not used to that size in like your underwear. So
Maybe.
it might feel a little different for you. You got to be a little more careful at times.
Well, and people will notice you coming.
That's true. It's very true.
When you walk into the
yeah.
room, people will notice you, and they do look.
Yeah. I mean,
Do
you're
they?
obviously an adult when this happens to you, so you've lived with like yours for your whole life, and you're used to that.
used to
Sure.
it.
Now you're gonna be kind of throwing a wrench in, like you got to get used to a new thing again.
A
you know?
wrench.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the downside to this extender or weight is that it's got to be worn for a couple hours a day for at least 4 months,
Oh my gosh.
and that that's really not optimal for
hopefully-
most people.
Hopefully you live where there are seasons. Pick the colder months, because if it's really, really hot out, you're going to be really uncomfortable.
Well, researchers don't really recommend this traction for most guys. Mainly since a lot of guys feel insecure about their penis size because they're really overestimating how big the average junk really is, and not because they actually have a particularly small penis.
I just have to say something, though. I don't really think size matters. It's
No.
not about the size. It's about what you do with it. And it's about the connection that you have with someone. So I wouldn't worry so much about that. We also all remember the story where there was a guy that didn't actually have a penis.
That's right.
And you know what?
He had lots of
He had
girlfriends.
a wonderful connection with many women, and even got married and had a wonderful life with her.
That's right.
So I don't think it matters.
And you ask any guy with a small one, and that's what he'll tell you. You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You want more? Go right to our website, 920thejersey.com, click on demand, and scroll directly to us.
And if you have a topic of interest you want us to discuss, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
Remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card.
But how you make people feel, well, that becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent,
And I'm Elise.
and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.
Tune in next week and learn about what your favorite sex position says about you.